How many dudes do you think she banged before she was caught?
At least 3.
Yeah, at least because that's dudes.
1 is like she had an affair. 2 is like she slept with my brother and had an affair. 3 is like she's banging other dudes.
Right. So she's out there. She's on the app.
She's a serial banger.
I just like that I got to read a Reddit story that I didn't know had the words "bang other dudes" in it in front of my mom. Well, look, welcome to a special Mother's Day episode.
Yes. Please, Ian, introduce your mother.
Well, as you may have guessed from the attire that she chose, which I feel like maybe a shot at me, maybe an insult, this is my mom.
Hello?
Yes.
Joining us on Mother's Day Sunday.
I'm sure she has a name.
No, I don't know her name. I've only ever called her Mom.
That's it for you.
Or Mum, because I'm Canadian.
Mama?
When I was young.
Mama's name is Michelle Blaze.
Oh. And you both have the same costume on today.
Yeah.
Look, mine's not a costume.
Well, everybody's is a costume. What you wear is a costume.
It is funny if someone calls what you're wearing a costume.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess for her it's a costume, and then for me, I try to dress like an idiot, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I wear all the time.
That or like a caterer or a barback.
Yeah.
You look like the guy in your pink shirt, like the guy who ordered the catering to come to our house.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate you both showing up.
Yeah.
It's good.
You were a little sad when you saw my mom was still catering in her 60s.
Well, it's a tough gig because you got to carry a lot of ice and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're in from Vernon
Yes.
today, and you said you were going. You guys want to go to the Group of 7 museum?
Yeah. I can't remember the name. In Kleinberg.
In Kleinberg.
Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire. Can you name all 7 in the Group of 7?
Oh, wow.
No.
Okay, all right. That's quick in and out of that.
Can you name one of the 7?
Yeah, Tom Thompson.
That's the one.
Can you name 2 of the 7?
And
What,
can't remember
it's a
his
Michael
name.
Jordan Bowles
I was
situation.
going to say it's Lewis, but it isn't Lewis. Actually, probably the one whose work I like the best I can't name.
That's fair.
It's the one Steve Martin collects. So everybody should know that.
Yeah, you know what? I asked the question, and I feel terrible because I'm like, I only know the one as well.
I don't know any of them. I would have went 0 for 7 too.
Really? Yeah.
I told my mom, I'm like, hey, come on the show. We're gonna make you look good. We don't ask anything to set you up. First question, you don't know any of the Group of 7? You idiot!
And that's why I'm going to the museum, so I can learn about the Group of 7.
Yeah, man, I'm bad Canadian.
And the name of the museum, something like McMaster, McMahon, or I don't know.
McMahon.
And I don't,
A lot of mix.
something Mick in Kleinberg, but it's in Kleinberg.
Yeah, it's a far drive, especially on the marathon day here. Through good stuff.
How far is Kleinberg from here?
45 minutes from your house.
I'm out.
Googled it.
I'll get you on the way out on the next Mother's Day.
Have you ever run a marathon? Or
5K.
A 5K. A 5K. Okay, that's great. In like one of these settings where because in the city today they've closed off all the streets that you're allowed to go anywhere so that people can use their legs.
I'm from Vernon.
Yeah.
It's a different scenario.
Yeah. Oh.
So in Vernon, it would be a 5K for Run for the Cure in October. Oh, I also used to do the Terry Fox.
Oh, yeah.
My town has the most liquor stores you can imagine on our main street. They're not running any more than 5K. You think they're doing 42K?
And so you raise money, and then you go for that 5K jog, and then you go to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Chase it back.
Yeah.
A little bit of gin post.
Why do you have so many liquor stores in Vernon?
Well, obviously, people like to buy liquor there.
Yeah, they do.
Because that's why there's so many of
And it's
them.
not government controlled there? Because in Ontario...
Hell yeah, you can make your own moonshine, brother.
There's one that is the government control. So a few years ago in BC, they changed it so that there could be private. I think around the time that the expo was there. I don't know if that's true, but that sounds good. And then they reduced the number of government liquor stores. And so now there's one in our town. And there's, how many? 14, you said?
Oh, I don't know. There's tons. Like their most popular
There's
bar.
gigantic ones. Like
Really? Like the States. Like
They
the
turned the
state
bar, the bar we used to all go to a liquor store. Like that's how much people would like rather drink at home. It's like let's tear down the club.
There were people who can go out and socialize, and now you can just buy it in bulk and drink in your own
and
patio.
stay at home.
That's right.
Turn
Don't
off the
anymore.
lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chug a
Forget
little.
your shames.
Yeah.
No judgment from the
Well,
server.
you're the perfect candidate to figure out whether or not privatizing the liquor system has increased gun crime and violence and homelessness. Do you find that there's more of it now? Like people just waiting outside the liquor stores, ready to run in there at whenever they open?
Yeah, you're talking to one now.
I guess I'm never down there when they open.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not quite certain. It wasn't my
Good answer, Ma.
it wasn't my thing to hang out at the liquor stores when they first open. I tend to go more of it early evening.
Early evening, yeah.
Yes,
Just
I
as the
need
sun-
a bottle of bio wine. Yeah, just the sun going down. Nobody's going to see me go in. Yeah. Yeah, no, they do have a lot though. And then actually, I think even I would promote one more because we have this tourist attraction in the community, O'Keefe Ranch, that is on the, in a rural area. And they're
Business
always broke.
at O'Keefe Ranch Mom is going to explode after this episode now.
Yes.
People are going to
actually,
make the
probably.
trek.
O'Keefe Ranch, Vernon, BC.
What happens?
But I think what they need is they should open a liquor store because even if it was a beer and wine, just sell BC beer, sell BC, the local made the breweries. And I think it would do well for it because it's in the rural area and it's actually on the way to our cottage. And sometimes I forget to go to the wine store. So this would be very handy for me.
For you.
But I think it would be other people in the area would appreciate it.
Right.
Just for the listener, just 99.9% of them. It's like a pioneer city, like
Yeah.
a town.
Yeah.
Just for everyone
It's
who's
like a
listening.
ranch?
Yeah.
O'Keefe Ranch?
Yeah.
O'Keefe Ranch.
Yeah. Do you go there and you churn butter and they tell you?
You could.
can't-
They
oh,
have people
lucky.
dressed up.
Go through a little corn maze?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they have a corn maze. Oh, they have a really scary corn maze for Halloween.
And who doesn't want to drink a little bit of gin after that?
Yeah, maybe that's...
Or just beer and wine, maybe.
They probably do a pretty good job making their own moonshine there, the
Yeah.
corn mash.
If they're authentic.
Yeah, maybe that's what they should do.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Have a moonshine
I've always
making
thought it
class
would
for
be
the
a way for
kids.
them to make a little extra money, but they didn't agree with me.
Or you called them up. You said,
Well,
hey.
I suggested it.
Yeah, you walked in there on your way to your cottage and kicked in the door and been like, hey, you want to make $1 million?
Serve
Well,
booze like the rest
I
of the
don't want them
town.
to close, and I figure, well, that would be a way.
yeah.
Even the restaurants close right now. They really need to do something.
Oh, you think they're struggling a little bit?
Oh yeah, they've been struggling for
Oh,
years.
okay.
This is not where discussing the economics of O'Keefe Ranch is not where I expected this show to go
Listen,
today.
if it's free
Okay,
flow, that's
any
what-
other problems I could solve?
We got a
Well, yeah,
lot
you
of,
got one right here, a giant problem that you need to either create it or you need to solve.
you created me and you'll have to kill me. Hand her the gun. Actually, I do have a couple Reddit stories for you guys today. Scott loves diving into the Reddit stories. So I'm going to give you, I got a couple Mother's Day themed Reddit stories. Yami, what we like about the Reddit stories is they make Scott mad.
They're great. They're great for searching this podcast and making it available for people when they want to watch something.
Okay, let's hear the story.
Okay. So here's the Mother's Day themed questions, kind of. They involve a little bit of family drama, Ma. Okay. Am I the asshole for accepting money for my parents' wedding and then eloping? My parents gave each of my brothers $50K when they graduated as a down payment on their home. When I graduated, they did not do the same for me. I asked about it, and they said that my husband should provide. I wasn't married, and at the time I still lived at home. 3 years later, I met my husband. We dated for a year, and then we got engaged, and my parents were overjoyed. When we set a date, they gave me a check for $50,000 to pay for the wedding. What the fuck? I took the check, and we eloped. We then used that check for a down payment on a house. My husband had a similar amount of money saved up, and we were in a good spot with equity. But my parents were furious that they didn't get a big wedding day for all their friends and family to attend. They said they gave me that money for a wedding, and my argument is that I got married and had leftover money. Accurate in my books. My brothers are on their side, so I'm here to ask the internet if I'm wrong. Am I the asshole?
No, I think so smart.
Scott?
Well, it depends, I suppose. If she was given the money with the strings attached to have the wedding, and you used it for other means, maybe an asshole. But like,
Whoa.
if you're giving money, you don't really get to decide what people do with it, I guess. Unless it's, but that's sort of what it is. Now, honestly, there's a lot of like weird sexism in that story.
That they gave the two brothers $50,000 for houses?
Yeah, and then she has a dowry situation where she gets to use the money for a wedding.
Nothing was stopping the parents from still having a party to celebrate the fact that they got married. Lots of people elope or do, weddings in different ways and come back and they have the big party. So if they had money left over, they could still throw a big party. But it kind of speaks to who's the wedding for? Is the wedding for the bride and groom or is the wedding for the parents to show off that they could afford to have a $50,000 wedding and show off their daughter, where they didn't do that with their sons. I think the daughter was right in spending it on a house. Much smarter.
Much smarter. Great
She's not
move.
going to come back for the parents for money later on to ask for the money for the house. So the parents might have had to cough up twice. This way they only had to do it once.
Well, she made the right choice for herself, no doubt. But if
Weddings
she's
are so
asked,
stressful.
they are
Like
stressful.
the prepping.
Yeah.
And notice that the parents just handed over the money. They weren't going to get involved with organizing it or everything. They were backing out.
Right.
They just wanted to show up. So they were kind of like copping out of their parental responsibilities for organizing weddings. And instead, just give her the money. You do it. We'll show up. And then be annoyed when they didn't get to show up. So I think the daughter was right.
So say you give Ian here $50,000 to go to university.
Carl, bring in the checkbook.
Hey, Ian, this is for your education, $50,000.
Allegedly. Okay.
And Ian goes, I'm going to take this and move to Los Angeles.
Spend it on acting classes?
Spend it on acting classes.
This is turning into a true story.
Now, was Ian the asshole in that situation? Say things do work out for him nicely in Los Angeles, and he starts...
That is the exact crutch. If you become Ryan Reynolds and you were like, yeah, I make $100 million. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Your mom's happy. But if you don't make it, you live it, I'm sure.
That's right. But the strings were attached
I
firmly
like
to that money. So is that young boy being a bit of an asshole when you wanted to have an education and be able to, help him in his life and shine as a child? But now is just a sad act.
What do you think, Ma, if that had happened? If you did give me money?
Well, I think people approach to life doesn't always need to be in the classic way of going to school and doing that. So using the $50,000 to live in Los Angeles, there would be a lot of education there, even like going to, the classes and that whole experience. So then it would be, I think, following the dream. I think that's still important.
Even though you said you'd give him the money for his
medical
post-secondary education.
The idea would be there'd have to be some discussion about that, about the limitations
No
on.
discussion.
Does she think
take the
I'm
money.
living in like Boston, going to university, and
that
really
would be bad,
I'm in
Mom.
LA,
That's right.
That would be
living it
bad.
up, grinding on Instagram models, getting Grey Goose?
Yeah. No, I think probably. No, I think that if that was the choice, like when people drop out of university, go for a year, and then they say, I'm done. Maybe like somebody in this room. And then they decide to pursue something else. I think that's important. I took 17 years to finish my degree because I did,
Your little
traveling,
maze situation.
yeah,
right?
working, and then.
I'd love if it
finally
was
finished
just 17 years straight. Just couldn't pass those tests. Cost
Study,
$900,000.
And I got my BA finally. But
Thank
I
goodness.
think that, yeah, because I think supporting.
That's
people
why.
to do,
Sorry to interrupt you, but that's why you're dressed like this. You just graduated.
yeah,
You were
that's all I
slightly
can
older
afford.
than the other kids in the class.
But I always wore black, so then that was okay. Oh yeah, the woman that always wears black.
Backwards
Yeah,
hat.
Yeah, backwards hat. She's from one out a rural area. Yeah, that's interesting. But I think that education comes in many forms. So
Right. So you wouldn't be upset if you took
No,
that money.
I
So
wouldn't be
you
upset.
think in this situation, the parents should be happy that their child has good equity in a house.
yeah, smart.
That
decision.
$50K is going to make you way more money in a house.
Yeah.
Then you throw it
think
on
they
a
should be
fucking
proud.
party no one wants to go to. Nobody wants
You
to
know
go to
what?
a wedding.
She did say in her story that she had some money left over. So maybe what she should do is host some kind of party. People can still bring her gifts, preferably maybe just cash envelopes, and then her parents will have an opportunity to show her off as a married woman and wear a nice dress and why that was so important. I've been married 3 times. I don't understand why the wedding is so important.
Maybe 4 if you guys hit it off.
Have you had 3 weddings?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you tell us why it was so important.
Well, I think the small wedding is a better idea.
You've had the big one and the small one?
Kind of a bigger one, my first one.
Oh, was that a big one?
Yeah.
That was not my father.
Yep,
So
in
I'm
my
glad that
mom's
one didn't work out.
backyard. And then again, I'm from a small town, so we got married in the backyard.
All 6 people came?
No, probably 75 or something,
Oh, okay.
I think. And then at the Legion,
Oh,
had
yes.
the reception at the
Gotta
Legion.
have it at the Legion.
Support the troops, baby.
And then my second one was to Ian's father. and it's okay to say I was pregnant.
Okay.
Whoa, the internet is going to be really mad.
And that one I wore red because I would been living in Banff, and a lot of Asian women wore red when they got married in Banff.
Okay.
And so I thought it was looking lovely.
This is where you learned my mom's Asian.
And this was quite funny because the reaction of some people that I would wear red. I mean, I was pregnant.
Right.
You know, and
The jig is up. I've been married before. I'm pregnant
that
now.
one,
There's
we got-
Asian women in this town, and they're wearing red. Let me.
yeah. I actually only have done house weddings now that I think of that because we got married in our house. That was kind of a funny story because
Your house that you could have bought with the $50K deposit.
oh, that would have almost paid for the whole house
Oh, that's nice.
back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, I guess I could keep going telling this story. So Gord had got married before, and he didn't want a big crowd, so we changed the time. We were to get married at 5.
Yeah.
And then he didn't want people around to watch, so we got married at 3 instead.
He
And
bamboozled them. He pulled the rug on them. He's
Bamboozled
like,
them.
"Come on over at 5. We'll do the ceremony then." And you're already married at that
and
point.
a couple of my girlfriends were going to wear, because I was wearing red, they were downtown and were going to buy wedding dresses.
Okay.
Yeah, and my mum was upset by it, so they didn't. But I think that would have been really funny.
Yeah.
To attend, people attending the wedding would have worn the white formal gowns.
So weddings are a bit of a joke to you.
As you can tell, she's wearing a hat now. It seems everything's a bit of a joke. Wait.
And then my third one was also a house wedding, another garden wedding. And that one, yeah, is to my current husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a real cheapskate, Ma, you know?
So I should say, yeah, the second one died. The first one I divorced.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And the third one.
The third one is still
Still alive.
Cliff. Yeah.
This doesn't air for 2 weeks, so you never know.
And that was a lovely wedding at our house.
And did someone give you $50,000 for each of those weddings?
No, goodness sakes,
Nice.
no.
That'd be a great scam for you. Every
Yeah.
time you get married, you get a quick.
Oh,
50.
goodness, yeah.
So consensus, she's obviously not the asshole. We all agree.
Yeah. No, I think I have thought that many times when I see people spending like $50,000 to $100,000 on a wedding. When you think, I think with weddings, you spend so much time talking about the wedding, not about the marriage.
Right.
Like that's one day or 3 days, or with showers or whatever, instead of more time focused on what it's going to be like living together and being married. And so that's why having that $50,000 for a house takes off some of the financial pressure.
Right.
So it's a really smart decision. That woman was brilliant.
Yeah, I'm with him.
It's tough though. So, you spend your whole life. The wedding is the thing.
Oh.
You get then you get married, and then you have to live every day with that person.
Yeah.
Staring at their face.
Maybe save a little money for holidays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A little tripperoo.
Yeah, I've got some
Save a
friends who
little bit
have
for the
daughters
divorce attorneys too, just to be safe.
who were really big on their daughters having a wedding, and that they would get to have their daughters. But I think too, probably I was never somebody that thought about the wedding dress, or
Right.
that was a big deal to me.
But you've gone to weddings, I assume, where most of the time big weddings, and you're sitting there, and the people are thanking their business partners for being there, and and
Carl,
Yeah.
number 4 mortgage broker in all of Cincinnati.
Yeah,
He's
you're
here.
like, what am I watching right now? This guy's just thanking his sales team for coming as well to this wedding, and it's like,
You know what I
And he's
hate?
probably writing it off.
yeah, probably.
I hate when the
as a
best man
business
speech or the maid of honor speech they've like planned where they think the laughs are coming, but if they have no comic delivery, they're like, "Yeah, Carl was a real ladies' man in college, but seriously, guys, but seriously." It's always like, or they say some inside joke and then they're like, "But seriously," and it's like, every time I'm at a wedding and I hear "but seriously," I'm like, Jesus, here we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
What's the next story?
Oh, he's craving a Reddit story now.
well,
we
I
beat that
just
one up.
you got us on the
I wasn't very supportive of the parents.
No, I think you guys were all right. The internet agrees with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the last Reddit story.
I mean, they seem like a religious thing as well.
It did a little
It's
bit,
a
maybe.
show-off thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't want their virgin daughter
Oh, yeah.
losing her virginity for less than $50K worth of partying.
Yeah. The guys are buying houses, but it's like, yeah, the guys need to be able to support their houses, their wives, and get a house.
Yeah.
And then the woman has to have the man to be able to provide the house. So that's where they get to judge the man to see if he's worthy of the daughter first. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. Something fishy going on.
Weird going on.
Something a
with
little.
Well, especially was that from this year?
Yeah, this is from this week.
that. Oh.
Stories
Okay, I
the
won't
only.
go asking where it was from, but never mind.
Okay. Am I the asshole for working less after my divorce, even though it means my ex gets less child support? For the last 10 years, I've been working my ass off to earn money so my family could enjoy an excellent standard of living. This was apparently the wrong thing to do, since it led to my wife deciding that since I was never home, she could bang other dudes. When I work out of town, I earn about $240K a year. Where I live, child support for 2 kids is about $3,300 a month with that salary. Since my divorce, I went to 50-50 custody and I work in a town, so I only earn $100,000 a year annually. So my child support is actually only $800 a month. My ex is going nuts because she isn't getting what she thought she would. My lawyers tried explaining that child support is based on income, and since I'm not working crazy hours anymore to make lots of money for vacations and a huge house, I don't need to earn as much. She is telling everyone what an asshole I am for cutting back on my work to deprive my kids. And that is bullshit. I have my kids half the time, and since I cannot be out of town, I earn less. My kids have everything they need. But am I the asshole?
Honestly, it just sounds like these people are writing these stories for just to feel good about themselves. Like, I mean, like, well, no, Chris, you're not the asshole. What are you talking about? You're just, you're doing what you can to support the kids, and you also have to be in town. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you have to be in town. You make less money. This is the facts of the situation.
The most important thing he's doing is spending 50% of the time with the kids.
Right. That he's still trying to be a good dad by living in the town instead of just being a rich dad.
Yeah, and
sending
seeing
more
the kids
cash
every 2 weeks. So when you have 50-50 custody, then the expectation would be that the child support would be less. But perhaps what she was looking for was spousal support. And she
maybe she wanted to live off it too a little bit.
So, $3,300, it would be helpful. So it's probably she didn't get spousal support, and that's probably what's upsetting.
I just like
the fact that he's sharing with custody, because so many kids now in divorced families don't get to see their fathers that much. So him having 50% of the time with the kids is great. I think that's really positive.
I just like that I got to read a Reddit story that I didn't know had the words "bang other dudes" in it in front of my mom. Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of guys who work from home now. Like I have friends who've had kids post-pandemic, and they're all day with their kids now, which wouldn't have really existed for a lot of jobs even 5 years ago.
Which would be challenging.
And you hate that. You hate that.
I fucking hate it. I'm like, let's go play golf. He's busy.
Yeah. And you're like, your kid is so soft. You're with them all the time. You know?
The skin is so soft. It's going to wreck your calluses from all the times we used to bench press.
That's a tricky one. That comes up a lot, though, in divorces, because it depends on like so many factors, right? Was she a stay-at-home mom before, and so got used to a certain lifestyle and now that lifestyle changes? Because if she hasn't, depending on her going out to work and, or her own career and everything comes into play, but that is a big drop probably financially. But
that's what
I think the most important thing is the time with the kids.
That's where the internet, like I'm looking at the top comments here, a couple people do agree with that. He said most of the money was from overtime and now he doesn't work overtime. But he says that someone else said she could appeal it and go back to the court to get a ruling on assumed income, and she could tell the judge that you cut your hours to avoid paying, so watch about that.
But he cut his hours to have 50% of the time with the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the judge,
at least from his point of view.
So you also don't think he's an asshole?
I don't know. I initially thought he did. I thought the story was going to be elsewhere from the title. I thought he did say, I'm going to run it through some companies. But it makes sense, the fact that, if he used to work overtime and fly around the country to make more money, but now he's at home and that means he makes less.
Yeah, if he wasn't spending the time with his kids, if he was doing it every other weekend or something like that and did it and was hiding, then he was being an asshole.
And he used to make $250,000 a year for a bunch of years. I'm sure they already have a really nice house. I'm sure the kids have a great life to get schools, and $100K is still a lot of money.
Well, it sounds like he was an asshole before, to be honest with you.
Right, he was the asshole, maybe the dad. Well, I mean,
we're flying all over.
It all depends.
Not there.
Getting mad at his wife for banging other dudes. This guy's a real prick.
What do you expect she's going to do? She's at home. You're all over the city.
He could probably
trying to
use
earn
that in
money.
court. He could probably use that in court. She's banging other dudes.
How many dudes do you think she banged before she was caught?
At least 3.
Yeah, at least, because that's dudes.
1 is like she had an affair. 2 is like she slept with my brother and had an affair. 3 is like she's banging other dudes.
Right. So she's out there. She's on the app.
She's a serial banger.
Got the pool boy, the trainer.
Right. So she's a type of person. She's a type of person that's out there doing a thing.
Getting
Needs
hers.
lots of attention.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Other than breaking your marital vows. But like he's working overtime.
More time on her hands now if she doesn't have the kids 50%.
Right, she can bang a whole bunch of
She
guys.
got exactly what she wanted, and he has what he wanted.
Except for the financial reward.
Yeah, now her house
I think
is
it's probably she didn't get spousal support, so that's probably the problem more than.
Yeah, because before she had it all, she was sleeping with everybody in the city, living in a beautiful house, getting that cash, half of that $250 every year,
Yeah, driving a Tesla.
But well, you said you've been retired for some time now. How do you like it compared to a working life? Do you like being retired much more than you like working?
I loved working.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really liked it, and I was fortunate to have always jobs that I really liked.
She was
I wouldn't take them.
She was a taxidermist,
good at-
number one
yeah,
taxidermist in Cincinnati.
Okay, and that may sound dumb, but like I feel like
But I do love being retired.
Yeah, 'cause
What I love about, but also in a position so that I can, like, I travel and do things. It's the freedom of choice.
yes,
Of if I want to go golfing, I will. Or whatever I want to do, or play pickleball.
yeah, get in that pickleball.
Sport of the moment, or for my age group. But yeah, that's the beauty, is the freedom of choice. But yeah, no, I loved working. And when you first retire too, it changes too, because you're so much of your identity is with your job.
Right.
And I always with my career, and then so that get used to being, oh, now you're just Michelle. And then the other is
Looking in the mirror
social,
at night.
The social,
Right.
where because you're out and about, and especially, except for the last few years, I worked out of my home, but as a contractor. But you still, I still talk to people all day, but now less so.
Oh yeah, who are you talking to all day? Because you talk to this guy all day.
We're on Zoom all day.
When I was working, yeah.
How often do you two talk?
This is the first time in years.
Yeah.
How's Dad? We talk I look a couple times a week for sure, at least.
At least,
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
My mom's a good
Yeah.
texter too. Throws a
that's
text
good.
now and then.
Yeah, sometimes
It's Mother's Day.
it's
You
too
call your
much.
mom yet?
I texted her.
Yeah.
Right. Who's the? Hey, sorry, new phone. I didn't save this.
New phone. Who dis? I saw her last night. She came to see
Yeah.
a show, and then we had dinner together.
Nice.
Today's Mother's Day, but I
Yeah,
got her-
and Mother's Day can be a whole weekend.
Does your mom ever pitch you
That's right,
jokes?
that could be a whole weekend, like how some people have birthday weeks and birthday months.
Mother's Day
It's
weekend.
Mother's Day,
Yeah.
I guess
I also think on our children's birthdays, mothers should be recognized because
of all the work.
of all the work to get to that.
A birthday is really just an anniversary of a horrible day you once had.
Well, do you want me to go into detail about that? No,
Yeah, was it a bad one? Was he a bad one?
Nobody wants to hear about a C-section from the 90s.
And the 32 hours of labors that I was in before I had that.
Oh, nice.
And the scars that I have on my
Show the internet the scar. Scott, does your mom ever pitch you jokes? Like she came to your comedy show last night. Did she ever? Hey, because I know my mother does.
No,
Oh, Ian, I got an idea, yeah.
no, not once. She ever picked
Or
me.
sometimes she'll watch the podcast and she'll be like, "You guys were talking about bears' dicks. I don't think that's funny."
I said, I don't know
She's
what
right.
the lead up was. I don't know what the lead up for that was.
You're
Like all of
right.
a sudden, I see your 2-minute clip or whatever, and it's about bears' dicks, and I think, was that in? Did they start talking about bears' dicks because they were talking about the bear in the woods and the man in the woods and what would women like to do? Was that the
Right.
conversation of the week, or
Oh.
were they talking about like a hiking trip, or why?
You're up to date on all the internet. You're up
She's
on-
good. She knows all the stories. That's why we're asking her Reddit stories.
That's
For
right.
context, we were talking about Winnie the Pooh only wears a shirt, no pants, and I was wondering if you could see his dick. It's a highbrow comedy show.
Oh, he's like Ken.
He's like Ken,
Yeah,
the Barbie
Winnie
doll.
the Pooh, like Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a cartoon and meant for children, so you can't see its dick. Is what we came to.
You can on
And he
hentai
has
sites.
his little
Don't
shirt.
Google hentai.
His little
The internet.
Yeah.
Up high.
If you were leaving, well, I guess you don't.
A bear.
A bear. Everyone is choosing the bear.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But your mom, no jokes, no notes
No,
for your comedy show.
she does the thing where you're like, oh, you must get a lot of stories out of us, and you use
Right.
this in your comedy because they're.
You ever make any jokes about Uncle Neil? That killed at Thanksgiving.
No, yeah, I get a lot of that, but no, she doesn't pitch me jokes. And be
Yeah,
like,
I
hey,
do try
guess-
to pitch
guess-
him, but less so because he doesn't really respond well to them.
Right, because you pitch them to him, he's just like,
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mom. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I guess the lawn is kind of funny sometimes. You've had a couple good ones.
the long.
Hey, one little thing I want to show you guys before we wrap it up.
Your mom's C-section scars. Are we?
So for 2 years, I've been posting. We've been doing podcasts. I've been posting videos, comedy videos, sketches, stand-up clips now and then. and nothing has ever gone as viral as my mom's video. I posted a video of her on TikTok, and it got, I think, 1.4 million views.
1.4, wow.
I'm going to show it to you guys now. We'll get the producer to cue it up for the audience there.
We'll get it.
Are you? Uh-oh.
So my mom, for all people listening and
I have
driving,
done that 10 times.
my mom was trying to throw a bottle of wine at some friends of hers on a boat and threw it on their beautiful like wakeboard boat, white leather seats, throws the bottle of wine from the dock, and it smashes along the back. One more time for the people in the back.
But the reality is I had done this 10 times, and every year
You threw
I threw it successfully.
You've
And
thrown
the
10
one-
bottles like you're Tom Brady throwing white red wine at boats?
And like the one time Ian's got the camera there, I miss.
Oh my gosh!
But
Well, I was
what-
more concerned about the hands because it like broke right out of their hands onto
The glass everywhere?
Yeah, the glass.
I was concerned about the leather. The internet was
I didn't care about
fighting,
The
being like,
comments were riot.
my mom got to deal with mean comments for the first time in her life, and I pray that people don't throw more because of the hat.
No, the thing was, what was funny about it was people saying, well, there'll be kids swimming there. It's about 30 feet deep, you know, where the boat
People were
was
mad
and
about the
stuff.
fish, being like, those fish are
Yeah,
going to get
they
cut
were
on
gonna
glass.
get-
They were
drunk.
get drunk.
They're going to be so drunk, those fish.
But yeah, it was funny. So the reason I'm throwing a bottle of wine at somebody riding a boat is at the cottage on August long weekend. These people dress up as Santa Claus, and so there's one boat that is got Santa Claus, and Santa Claus throws bags of candies for the kids, and they've been doing this for years, and they probably make like 500 bags of candy, and they do this. And then there's the second boat they call the security boat. That's the one that collects the booze from the people that throw bottles
Most
of
liquor
wine
stores per
or-
capita. We pay for candy
And
with
now you know
booze.
why? Because we throw bottles of wine for candy. But yeah, no, and yeah, I got that, and I got a lot. I'm a famous TikTok person now.
Yeah, well, your arm and your bad toss.
Yeah, my bad. There were a couple people that said
Yeah,
that
there
was
was some
pretty good.
distance.
Some people
Under-
said it was a good throw.
A good
A good
toss.
throw just didn't have enough height to it, though.
just
And they were
a
pretty
bit
far. That was
more.
more than that was a good 10, 20 yards, 10, 15
Yeah,
yards.
it always makes Paul always says, "Oh, Mom, are you sure? But you're sure? You're sure?" Yeah, but most of the time, except for when it's being filmed, I would be successful.
Right. That's a new sport for you. You got pickleball and you have wine toss.
Yeah, wine toss.
Wine tossing.
Yeah.
Normally it's just tossing it down her throat after the game.
Yeah.
That's our show, everybody. Thank you very much, Mom. Everybody wish your mom a happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Give her a call. Give your mom a text. They like it.
Yeah.
And,
And not just on Mother's Day.
Not just on Mother's Day, and for other people who are mothers or don't have
Yeah.
mothers, have a great Mother's Day.
Mothers come in lots of forms.
Yeah,
Lots
that's
of
right.
people play that role.
and just remember,
in
if they
kids'
give you
life, that's
50 grand, take the money and run.
Take the money, buy a house, buy a condo, buy a beach property.
Do whatever you can
Yeah,
do.
yeah.